Coach, big win yesterday, but again, something that you guys want to set as a standard. In saying that, with that victory, was there any aspect of the game that you were really pleased with, more so than any other?
I just think our defense's ability to sustain those long drives, they're in the third and fourth quarter, to really give up 3 points, on those two. One of them was a 21 play drive. I mean, that's a marathon, and it's a long game. It's a physical game. It's an emotional game. And, for them to give a 21 play drive, holding 3 points, and then offensively, we went 3 and out that next drive. So the defense had to go right back out there. And then to have another long drive and hold them out of the end zone, 0 points, make some really big plays in the red zone, I just think spoke volumes about where we're at as a team, but specifically the defense.
Thank you.
Zac, after watching the film yesterday, how would you assess Jackson's performance, and has he done enough to retain the starting job? Did he do enough?
We'll roll with Jackson this week. Xavier's still day-to-day. But I thought Jackson did a really nice job for us, and again, I know it's an emotional game for him too, playing on the road against a divisional opponent. It wasn't perfect. There's some things that we can continue to improve on, but it was good stuff to build off of, and we expected that from Jackson, and that's what he gave us yesterday. So that was great to see.
A three-part question here. Do you know the severity of Cheeto's groin injury? And do you expect T. Higgins to play this week? And following up on the Cheeto, how do you feel about your cornerback depth with Trey not knowing where he's at and what happened with Cheeto?
Yeah, I'll kind of hit all those guys right away. Cheeto had a groin. We'll see where he's at this week. It's hard. Tomorrow's the first time we'll get on the field and really get a chance to see where our guys are at. So I'll kind of hold too much on Cheeto at that point. Trey's been making good progress, and he practiced a little bit last week, and I think he's feeling good right now. We'll continue to take him day to day, but he's certainly trending in the right direction to where we're optimistic. And then T did some good work yesterday. He's a little sore today. So again, we want to be smart. It's a short week. It's a long season. Want to be smart. So again, we'll evaluate him tomorrow, see how he feels, see what it looks like. But we'll be cautious with those guys early in the week, particularly.
Zac, is a win like yesterday's in Pittsburgh one you kind of hope sets the tone for the rest of the season?
I think it's important early in the season. The way our schedule has really been divvied up is this first 4-week segment, ending with this Thursday night game. And it's important to have positive momentum coming out of this stretch. And a lot of it did hinge around yesterday, that there's no talking around that. We needed to go on the road and win that divisional game. So that's big. But again, if we don't turn around and are focused this week and don't play well on Thursday night, then it's all for naught. So our guys understand that. They're going to be focused. This is a huge one for us on Thursday night. Our guys will be ready.
Zac, where is Xavier Suafilo at in his recovery, and do you anticipate him being available this week?
Yeah, he didn't practice last week, so it's hard for me to say today. I think he's feeling a lot better coming off this weekend, and again tomorrow we'll get on the field and we'll get to assess where he's at. But it's just that one's hard for me to say right now. It's not a long-term deal. It certainly kept him out of last game, but we'll just see where he's at physically tomorrow.
Do you need maybe? Go ahead. Do you need one more start maybe from Jackson to maybe say that he might be a long-term solution at right guard for y'all moving forward? I mean, how close is he to kind of having that job full time?
Yeah, I think you got to accumulate a lot of reps for all these rookies, before you really know. It's you don't want to crown a guy one way or another after one game, 2 games. It's all they got to show that they can be consistent over a long stretch of the season, And so again, it's kind of in y'all's court to rush to judge. I know that's we got to do all that work, but for us, it's slow, and we just want to see consistency. And again, we're not going to overreact one way or another based on each week's performance to Jackson. But again, he has all the tools that we wanted when we took him. He's shown the progress that we wanted to see over the last 7-8 weeks. It was a really good start for him yesterday. If that's what we knew we were going to get, the Pittsburgh game, his first start on the road, we would take that every day of the week and just continue to build off of that and understand it's a long season. And we can't start thinking, we played well for one game, and that's the way it's going to be. You're going to have a different challenge, different matchup every single week, and that's important for those young guys to realize.
We talk a lot about players taking a big step forward, but do you view Lou Anarumo as someone who's taken a big step forward with his defense this year?
I've always had confidence in Lou, and I think we've got the right pieces to the puzzle over there on defense. And you really look at the guys that walk out on the field, man, and just the energy each one of them brings and the leadership and the confidence they have in their own ways. And then you fit all that together, and it's fun for Lou to be able to coordinate that. It's great for me as the head coach to know that we can really lean on this defense and play games that way. So again, it's just, but again, the season is still very young. We're going to face some really dynamic offenses, and the defense is going to be challenged, and we expect them to step up.
Zach, in the several players we've talked to about the win in Pittsburgh, and look, the people who have been around for a long time have seen guys digest a big win in Pittsburgh in different ways. We've seen guys celebrate it, but yesterday it didn't seem like there was this huge celebration amongst the team. I'm curious, as the head coach of this team, do you want these guys to be super pumped, super emotional about winning in Pittsburgh, or do you want them to handle it the way it kind of seems like they're handling it, which is just another win?
We want that in the grand scheme of things to be a very small victory for us. You know, all the celebrations that we want to have as Bengals as part of this organization, getting on planes and celebrating wins. I want that to be small in the grand scheme of things once we move forward here. But you work hard, and it's an emotional game, and these guys put in the work for a long time. And so to go on the road against a divisional rival like Pittsburgh and win, you should feel good about yourself for the remainder of that day, you know, and you should be able to celebrate on the plane and feel good and laugh and smile and all those things that we haven't gotten a chance to really enjoy on our plane rides over the last 3 years. Our guys deserve that. I love seeing that from them. But again, that needs to be a small step in our journey going forward on the rest of the season.
3 games, 3 long touchdown catches for Jamar. Is he having the exact impact that you dreamed he would have when you selected him 5th overall?
You know, I think, yes, he is. That's how we wanted to utilize him. We still haven't really done a great job putting him in a position to catch some underneath stuff and get some of those explosives that are going to come, you know? And so, again, that's on me. And part of it is we got so many weapons. You get to use them all a lot of different ways, and that's a lot of fun. But again, he's been so focused. The work that he puts in behind the scenes. Again, I know I say this to you all, and it's impossible for you all to see, but just really proud of the approach he's taken and the relationship he and Troy Walters have formed to really get that thing going and make sure that he doesn't miss a step and miss an opportunity. He's just taking advantage of the things that come his way, and just really proud to see Jamar early on in the season handle it that way.
Coach,
how does what he's done, Zach? Sorry, Box. How does what he's done over the top, Zach, change what you can do as a play caller and the way you view things as a play caller?
Yeah, it's going to stress the defense. You know, that's one thing I know teams focus on is when you get guys that can beat you over the top, it's always in the back of those coordinators' minds. And I thought that Joe did a great job. He got that thing out quick. You know, the long touchdown, it was only 34 yards, but the timing on go routes in the red zone is very particular once you cross the 40. And I thought Joe did a great job with his timing. It was slightly different than the one against Minnesota. But he did it on the right timing and trusted that Jamar, who hadn't even really gotten past the DB yet at the time the ball was released, sometimes on free access go routes, you just got to trust it, put it out there, know that your guys got the speed to win. And so again, that just goes back to the chemistry that they've had for years now. That's where that shows up, because a lot of times I think you'd see a quarterback working with the receiver for the first time not quite trust that. You know, you miss that throw because you're unsure how to throw it. So they have that chemistry there, and that's where it shows up. But certainly helps me as a play caller be able to push the ball down the field and know that those guys are going to make it work.
Coach, as a staff, a lot of people never really know what goes into game planning, but talk about your staff and just how pleased you were with the game plan for this Pittsburgh game. Yeah,
I was really pleased with the adjustments that they made on defense over the course of the game. You know, with DBs kind of in and out over the course of the game, losing Cheeto, you know, just a couple guys need a breather for a couple seconds. And so I thought it was a good job managing the game, kind of bend but not break when we were up 17 there. That's smart football. I think Darren always does a great job with his communication over the course of the game and managing how each kick's going to get played out, what he expects, and where the ball is going to end up. And so I always feel great with that. And then I just thought offensively our communication was really good as a coaching staff yesterday. It was a Rubik's Cube at times of what defense personnel we were facing versus 11 personnel and 12 personnel. And it was late subs on their part. And I don't know that people always see that, but that causes a lot of communication over that 40-second play clock. And I thought Frank and Brian were outstanding in those areas. And then Joe Burrow has to handle it also to get it to Trey. You know, it's just that's part of the fun part of calling a game. It's also exhausting, but I thought our staff did a really good job communicating. That was fun to be a part of.
Zach, what are the unique characteristics of Trevor Lawrence, and are they the same things you saw at Clemson that you're seeing in his first 3 games?
Yeah, I don't know Trevor as well as obviously we got to know Burrow when we took him first overall because we knew we weren't taking a quarterback this year, but you still watch all the tape and all that stuff. But he's a tremendous talent. You see some really great flash plays for him. He's got all the arm talent in the world. He can get the ball out quick. He's a really good athlete. I think he's starting to see the field really well, as you expect any rookie to evolve over the first 3 games. He's dangerous. He's really dangerous, and he can really hurt you in a lot of different ways. And so, again, we got to work cut out for us on defense this week.
Joe and Trevor are very different, I guess, recruiting backgrounds. Like in the last 5-10 years, are you seeing like number 1 picks coming from different places, and it's not necessarily just the same type of guy who ends up being the number 1 pick?
Yeah. Is that what was the question part of that?
Are you seeing now a trend where like it's not just the same type of guy that ends up being the number 1 pick?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Goff, Kyler, Baker, Burrow, Trevor, they're all different body types. They're all different play styles. I'm sure I'm missing somebody in there, but you can't just say, hey, these 2 guys or this guy's a clone of this guy. You know, it's I think people are a lot more open-minded maybe to what they're looking at in quarterbacks now, different than 15 years ago. And I'm sure certainly 30 years ago. So again, it's people are just realizing you can shape an offense around a lot of different talent levels, regardless of their athleticism, regardless of their size. And people are making it work, and guys are playing fast early. And that's what you're seeing from a lot of these young quarterbacks.
2 more minutes.
Zach, Joe Mixon.
Thanks, Kelsey. How much sleep do coaches get in the Thursday night week?
Yeah, same as normal. You know, you don't get much sleep Monday through Thursday anyway on any game week. And so it's kind of in some cases, you're kind of working the same amount of hours. You get Friday night to yourself for once, you know, and Saturday to yourself. So, but again, that's we can't look past this game. And it's just, sometimes you just see all the work that needs to be done in front of you, and you're going to get it done and be ready for the game, and then deal with whatever comes after.
Joe Mixon just said Joe has his swagger back. He saw that yesterday. Joe also said after the game that those quarterback draw plays were really important because it allowed him to have confidence because he didn't know if he was going to be able to do that at this point this year. Can you just kind of talk about how important that is for him? Because I think sometimes with Joe, it just goes, he's been back so quickly and everything just falls into place, but there had to be an element of confidence for you as play caller and him to be able to execute those types of plays yesterday.
You know, some people find this hard to believe, but Joe is human, you know, and so sometimes he needs to see it, feel it from himself in a real game to know that, hey, the things I used to be capable of, I can still do. And I saw it on the 3rd play of the game yesterday. When we had our lone protection bust of the day, and he had some free runners there in the backfield and made 3 people miss, got some yards with his legs. That was encouraging to see. I'm sure that was fun for him to feel. And then really the other one was, you know, when he got to the quarterback draw, that was really the only designed quarterback run. We didn't design it. He did. And it was good to, you know, it was a good red zone call for him. He saw the box look, you know, the front he was getting, you know, maybe slide a little bit earlier, but he felt like he needed to fight for the first down, which he did, which was good to see.
Last question.
How does that change things for you, Zach, now that you've seen that? I mean, do you feel like that opens up a few pages of the playbook a little bit more?
You know, there's a lot of things that are always available to us. I think I usually strongly communicate to him what I want him to do, you know, once he crosses the line of scrimmage. But again, there's a lot of things that you accept with Joe, that he's going to extend plays. You know, probably that 3rd play of the game I mentioned, historically, I would have been yelling, just throw the ball away. He makes 3 people miss. If he had another second, I know we got a holding call, but he probably throws a 60-yard touchdown to Trenton Irwin, you know, if he wasn't so tight to the line of scrimmage. So again, those are the things that come with Joe Burrow. He's going to make a lot of tremendous plays for us this year. And so sometimes I just got to shut my mouth and understand that's just part of having a great quarterback.
Brandon Sejo, did you have a question you were trying to get in?
Yeah, Zach, I remember your first win, how fired up you got, just kind of going up to the stands, high-fiving a fan. Yesterday, I saw in the 4th quarter you kind of dapping up some of the guys on the sideline and just, I don't know if emotional is the right word, but you're just really fired up, excited, obviously, after a win. Does the swagger and energy that this team plays with, whether it be Mixon, Burrow, Chase, whoever it is, does that feed off to you?
That's just me being happy for our guys and all the work and you win the first game, you lose the second game, and we didn't need to prove to anybody what we're capable of because we knew. But I'm just happy for our staff and our players who work so hard, and they finally get that win on the road in a visual game, something we hadn't experienced. And so, again, that needs to be no different than any other game going forward. But in that moment, I wanted us to feel good about it and recognize it, and then quickly put it behind us and move on. But the first game you mentioned was pure relief, 2 years ago, because that was a long year. This one's just more, okay, happy for our guys that we finally get to put this thing to bed and move on and just play football and do the things that we think we're capable of.